In this video, I'll be going over everything you need to know about Callie and her altars to maximize your runs. If you've ever played even the first few levels of Spelunky 2, you've likely had some interaction with these, whether it be positive or negative. However, beneath the basic sacrificial mechanics, Callie's features go much deeper, and today, I'll be covering all 7 of her most important features, including Favour, rewards, the True Crown, and more. Callie's altars can be found on every level throughout the caves, except for 1-1, 1-4 and the majority of secret levels. The chance of an altar spawning on a level isn't completely predefined, but given some rough analysis and testing, I found that it adds up to around 36%. At their core, these altars grant the ability to sacrifice creatures such as pets, enemies and unsuspecting friends to the goddess, and in turn receive a reward. With each reward slowly getting better, by the end of the game, you can reach almost 100 health. Upon dropping your first creature on the altar, you'll enter the points-based Favour system, and depending on what you dropped, your points will be higher or lower. For example, a live shopkeeper will grant 8 points, while a mole will only grant 2, despite one clearly being much harder to sacrifice. In normal gameplay, it's easy to go a whole run without receiving any of these rewards. However, using some strategies I'll discuss later in the video, you can often max out the best rewards on your first altar. The very first and most important mechanic of altars is Favour and how you can acquire it. Favour values are split into 5 categories, ranging from 0 points to 8 points. Starting off at 8 points, there are pets, who are probably the most efficient way to gain Favour. With their spawn guaranteed on each level, they provide a consistent way to level up your points fast, and are always worth sacrificing. Next, there are common NPCs, people like shopkeepers, hired hands, and random co-op lobbies. Down to 4 points there are high health enemies like witch doctors and crocmen. Then follows your standard run-of-the-mill creatures, such as cavemen and yetis. For some certain special enemies, you can gain no points at all, which is probably a good thing, as I don't know why you'd want to sacrifice the eggplant child in the first place. To add to this, each of these points are cut in half if an enemy is dead, so make sure your sacrifices have a long life while they can. Now you know how much favour each enemy provides, it's time to explain what exactly Callie will give in return. Callie's reward system works in 8-point intervals, with a new item for each multiple of 8 you pass. For your first 8 points, Callie will bestow one of the 9 basic items in the game. This gives you a small but worthwhile head start into the run without having to deal with the shopkeepers. If you've somehow picked up all of these items despite the fact that the list contains a certain item no sane Spelunker would pick up, you'll be rewarded with a bomb bag for your efforts. These first rewards might seem lackluster, however all of this is in pursuit of Callie's grand prize, where at 16 points, you'll gain an official sponsorship deal with Callie in the form of the Kapala. With this item, you gain the ability to infinitely heal by collecting blood. After a little bit of practice with this, you'll be able to heal 1 HP within 2 kills, allowing you to reach up to 99 health with infinite health tricks. If you have Vlad's cape, enemy blood doubles, and you can speed up this process even faster. Once you reach 24 Callie points, you'll be given a royal jelly, which gives you 6 extra health. Every 8 points onwards from here, you'll continue to get more royal jelly, which combined with the Kapala makes you pretty much invincible, all the way until you get locked into an infinite death loop and have to suffer a long and slow death. While the majority of the time Callie can be used to your advantage, angering her can cause you to go into negative favour, and if you've ever used the drill before, this will probably be a familiar experience. If Callie's altar breaks for any reason whatsoever, you'll lose 16 points, and if this brings you below 0 favour, this will spawn a ton of enemies, a great way to get the cape if you're in need. Depending on what choice you want to make from here, you can either redeem yourself to Callie, or continue down the rabbit hole, entering the Beg questline. Upon finding your next altar, you'll come across Beg, the brother of Tan who will gift you a bomb bag, then teleport away. If you're looking to reach the end of this questline, make sure to break this altar to receive the ball and chain, Callie's second punishment. With this equipped, your mobility will be drastically reduced and pretty much immobilized. Thankfully though, you can destroy this in a number of ways, by either melting it, crushing it, or even dropping it into the abyss. Be careful with that last method though. If you're an optimist or have a tendency towards violence, you can use it to your advantage, using the Fallen Chain as a weapon to defeat bosses. If you decide to go even further and destroy a third altar, Callie will give you every possible punishment she can. Your chain will be reattached, you'll be cursed, the ghost will spawn immediately on every level, and the game will be permanently dark, even on bosses like Olmec and Tiamat. At this point in time, playing the game as normal will be almost impossible unless you're an expert player, which hopefully you are, as if not, you'll be dead very soon. On the other hand however, upon approaching Beg, you'll be given the True Crown. This is by far the riskiest item in the game, but in many ways it's also the most powerful. When this item is equipped, you'll be teleported every 22 seconds in whichever direction you're facing. This teleport function works pretty much identical to any other teleporter in the game, except you have absolutely no control over when you teleport, and this 22-second teleport is mandatory, resulting in a high risk of teleporting into a wall or some other danger without special precautions. In return for this risk, you'll be given 22 bombs, effectively giving you a bomb to use every second. For most runs, this item is probably just an extra liability, but for certain players, this can be turned in their favour. With the amount of bombs granted, you can destroy entire levels, opening up room to teleport in and yielding an exorbitant amount of gold, with some players gaining upwards of $1 million in a level and stretching the mechanic through over 10-hour-long runs. It's impossible for me to cover all the side effects of this item in this video, so soon I'll be releasing a full guide covering Beg and the True Crown. If you know how to make the most of each and every level, you can almost always unlock the Kapala on your very first altar. In the research for this video, I played 10 runs, and by my first altar for each run, I came out with an average of 32 Favour. Enough for an item, the Kapala, and 2 royal jellies, all by optimizing my sacrificing to the max. The first and most important tip is just sacrificing all of the basic creatures. By scraping together every enemy I could find, I filled 31% of my total favour, helped by bombing past to bring them to the altar before they die. Spike shoes makes keeping enemies alive slightly more difficult, so if you get them as a reward, save them to the end of the level. Also remember to always grab the pet, as even if you miss out on 1 HP, it's always worth it in the long run, even if you're low on health. One of my smaller but still worthwhile optimizations was turkeys. By bringing 2 turkeys from Yang's level, I could gain an extra 4 favour for no cost on my end. Hired hands filled the next major sector of my points, as with all the coffins throughout the run, you're guaranteed at least 2 hired hands by the second world. And if you're going Volcana, this can be up to 6 with Vlad's Castle, giving you a total of 36 favour, just from hired hands. On top of this of course, look for anything extra to bring you over the bar needed for the next reward. Yourself, friends, bodyguards, and even shopkeepers if you're up for the task. By using a rope beside the altar, all hostile NPCs including co-op partners can be safely stunned on the altar. And since this counts as an accident, you won't hold any responsibility to the shopkeepers. If you've already pulled this trick once on a friend, settle the feud with a battle to the death, well-timed surprise, or negotiation. In my experience online, some players will happily accept sacrifice early in the run in order to head start everyone's progress. Going later into the run, you can use the clone gun for a huge boost in favour. Use it on yourself, a pet, or a hired hand to gain up to 32 favour. This is one of, if not the best use for the clone gun, so don't feel bad about wasting your charges. In order to manage negative favour drains, make sure to bring either a healthy amount of bombs to skip the drill, or just head to jungle, and avoid high risk traps such as the boulder or log trap above Callie. In certain situations, it can be possible to sacrifice certain special items to Callie. These won't help you with favour, but can give unique rewards depending on the item. If you're looking to squeeze as much as you can out of the shopkeepers, after robbing them and sacrificing their corpse, bring their set of 2 dice over to the altar to sacrifice. Depending on what the total roll of both dice are, you'll end up with a different reward from a set of 12. In my opinion, the most favourable of these items are the Hired Hand to re-sacrifice for more favour, Telepack to help with mobility, or the Vampire to kill and receive a cape if I need one. In order to roll favourable rolls, roll them on a regular surface to your desired total, then place them on the altar. If you want to guarantee a 1 or a 6, you can whip the dice as you roll them. I don't know why this works, but feel free to exploit it while it does. Similar to this, Ushabtis are also able to be sacrificed, but the mechanics work slightly differently. Depending on your currently amassed favour, you are able to summon a companion out of these 5. However, in order to balance this out, considering there are 100 Ushabtis, the game will halve your favour for each sacrifice. Fortunately though, there is a workaround to reach over 100 favour using cavemen. Because your favour is only halved, you can never go below 0. And this means if you sacrifice all 100 Ushabti, you'll receive 100 cavemen at the cost of resetting your favour. But what this means now is you can sacrifice all of these cavemen to recoup everything and even go above your previous total. Even if you kill them first, you'll receive at least 100 favour, over 60 HP worth of royal jellies. Other interesting sacrifices include an idol which will spawn a golden monkey. This will slowly produce money. However, usually it's a pretty poor investment considering how long it takes to recoup the idol's value. Sacrificing a present will spawn an eggplant, which chains into a major endgame quest I'll touch on later. And if you have 16 favour, you can sacrifice a rock to get a stone arrow. The last important mechanic of Kali altars are these 3 special altars found in the later half of the game. The first of which is the City of Gold altar, which you'll find in the very centre of this level. For most use cases, this acts like any other altar. However, with the right items, it has some added side effects. By sacrificing yourself here with the Ark, you can access the secret world Duat and continue down the path to the Sunken City. This strips you of all your back and held items, so either drop your items at Wadler or prepare a Hired Hand earlier to act as your personal luggage carrier. Once you're in Duat, you'll find another altar similar to the last, only it's completely black and cannot be used for sacrifices. Depending on your Kali favour up to this point, you'll find a gift waiting for you to assist your upcoming fight with Osiris. These rewards are a cooked turkey, bomb bag, and a bomb box. Between this and the next altar, there's the eggplant altar, which technically doesn't count as an altar but acts as the following step after sacrificing a gift box. To use this, drop the eggplant on top of it and the Moai statue will reveal a door. In here, you can find the Eggplant Child, an important step of the full Eggplant quest. And for the final special altar, there is the Palace altar. If Tusk is still alive in 6.3, you can find her personal Kali altar hidden in her basement. This altar has no special properties itself, but due to its surroundings is one of the best opportunities in your run. First off, there is no avoiding this level, so it's your one consistent altar. But secondly, Madame Tusk's palace contains 6 guards, which when killed add up to 18 points. This means you have a guaranteed opportunity to grab Kapala at least once, even if it's only the level before Demon. So if you're going further through to the Sunken City and beyond, this will serve as a major health boosting station, with her platter upstairs giving 8 health on top of this, and a golden idol providing a well needed companion. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching and I'd really appreciate a subscription. If you found this helpful, check out one of these videos and as always, have a nice day.